Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is smash that like button like it's your Alabama cousin, so this video reaches a wider audience. Also, before I get on with the memes, first a word from today's sponsor, MedVPN. If you're surfing the internet alone without a VPN, then you're surfing with Justin Skippy Trudeau. I use MedVPN to hide my location from the Canadian government, to keep my freedom of speech, as well as to sail the high seas and download movies and TV shows without potentially getting sued by lawyers. MedVPN offers unlimited data traffic, no logs, a kill switch in case your VPN temporarily goes offline, and it's only $2.45 a month on a 24-month plan. Keep your online activities private and free. Sponsor link is down below. And now on with the memes. Number 1, it's the year 2030 and your Neuralink explodes after an anti-Semitic thought. We laugh at this now, but how many people thought that exploding pagers and walkie-talkies would be a thing these days? Plus, with Starlink, every person could be monitored in real time using the Neuralink from space. Also, Elon might be the Antichrist, and people would still clap for him like constipated seals. Twitter views have cratered for myself and most of the content creators I follow there. Plus, if the American Republic falls, I can see him taking power with the help of the military-industrial complex. Moving on, this woman says that if men are agreeing with what you said as a woman, then you actually said something stupid. So guys, based on that logic, we should be agreeing to everything women are saying so that women think that they are stupid. What she's not thinking of is that most men are too bothered by what women say to correct them. I think the translation here is, I hate male interests. Number 3, it looks like Sydney Sweeney knows exactly what men expect from her. She looks like she's ready to play Jessica Rabbit in a live-action remake of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. If she didn't have those mommy milkers, she would just be mid. She looks like the definition of a successful female chameleon. Up next, here's Ben Affleck telling J-Lo that he's divorcing her and cooperating with the Diddy investigation. This guy's smart because he told her something he knew would piss her off in public, knowing that she couldn't make a scene because the cameras were on them. That's how you know she's got a terrible temper. And you just know she unleashed on him later that night. I definitely wouldn't want to be around her either. Number 5, Zuck claims that there's no direct link between social media and the teen mental health crisis. Trust him, he's a hip libertarian. Now ask him which social media his kids are subscribed to. He hides them on social media and obscures their faces so they can't get the dopamine rush from all those likes. Sean Parker, the creator of Napster and the first president of Facebook, describes Facebook as an addictive drug. Moving on, Stevie gives us a list of 10 things she needs from her man to satisfy her. Regular communication, getting her food, cuddling, stroking her ego with compliments, and don't try and change her among other things. But you can sure bet she's going to try and change her man in the end. Most of their requests sound reasonable, but you know that these are just the appetizers. She's going to make a ton of other demands down the road. If Chad and Pookie come along, this list would be discarded, and she would go out and make him a sandwich. Number 7 is yet another e-girl and her reply guy. And no, he's not getting his back cracked. He's yet another fat male incel fan carrying around his purse, spending serious money on some woman that literally walks all over him. Have you ever seen such pathetic simping before? He just needs to go to the massage parlor and avoid humiliating himself on the internet like this. Unless, of course, he's into that sort of thing, which it looks like he might be. Up next is a single mom and she dates, but she won't date single dads. That's because she's selfish and wants a beta bucks all to herself, and as much of his money as possible to pay for her lifestyle and the lifestyle of her children. A simp where what's yours is hers, and what's hers is hers. But you know that if some single dad chat asked her out, all those rules would fly out the window. No man should take care of another man's kids unless they're related to him. Number 9, this woman says her body count is 157, and only 3 of those men have given her a real orgasm. She says that women are faking it because men are pathetic. The reason she can't orgasm is because she doesn't have a pea sleeve, but a cave stretched out by over 150 guys. Her insides probably have a complete lack of treads and look like this tire. Either that or she has calluses on her cooch. Moving on, the highest paid female CEO in America used to be a man. Now that's what I call shattering glass ceilings. Now they're taking credit for genetic males that identify as females. This is what feminism backfiring looks like. Doesn't this prove that men are just better women than women are? Also looks like the term down with the patriarchy is a completely ironic phrase now. I never would have guessed that she used to be a man with those size 15 feet, and hands that look like they belong to a basketball player. Number 11 is Michaela, and she says her ideal man is over 6 feet tall and makes $130,000 a year. I use the female delusion calculator, and that's only 0.6% of men between the ages of 25 and 40. She wants a top 1% guy, but is she a top 1% woman? And if that man is fit and not obese, then the odds of finding him drop down to 0.2%. Looks like we found ourselves a future cat lady here, folks. Up next, women are attending college more in almost all countries, but I thought the patriarchy was still oppressing them. I guess it's the patriarchy making them pick useless degrees and get into piles of debt. They're nothing more than fake credential factories and indoctrination centers. Yet even with all that education, men still out-earn them because we're more likely to build businesses and scale them up rather than simply work for a salary. Number 13, Sydney Sweeney's father walked out of the room after watching her in an X-rated role. Give me a break, as if she was in that type of film. Pixar, it didn't happen. The most that happened was the film called Voyeurs, where you see everything uncovered but the smashing is simulated. If her dad did walk out during the screening of either that film or Euphoria, then he's based. In those scenes, which my friend just checked out, she's just another Holly woke hoe. Moving on, this 33 New York woman works as a professional baby namer and charges clients up to 10 grand per name. This is no joke, and this is probably a paid ad for her service. Celebrities definitely need this, otherwise they would name their kids stupid things like Basket or Apple. But imagine growing up and finding out that your parents paid this woman to name you. People in New York are either really stupid or they have more money than they know what to do with. Number 15, this eco-activist has been sentenced to 2 years in prison for throwing soup over a $90 million Van Gogh painting. She should have gotten 20 years because the painting is priceless. $50 says that she doesn't even know who Vincent Van Gogh is. Then again, she probably does because the painting has been targeted repeatedly from the group called Just Stop Oil. It's not about ending the use of oil, but Marxism destroying the culture from the past. I'm just glad that orange is the new woke. Up next, here's a men's rights activist waiting for the government to take action on men's issues. The problem is that MRAs never accomplish anything besides informing guys about the injustice we face in society. Men are all about solving problems, and the men's movement never gave us solutions. That's when men going their own way did. It gave men individual solutions so we could get ahead in our lives if we wanted to. Number 17, we have Brenda, and she says she's on a bus, and there's a hot guy there with her, but he has an old iPhone 6, so she's unhappy about that. Someone responds by shaming her back and saying that she's on a bus. What does she expect? Modern women won't settle for less, but little did they know that they are less. From her picture, she's obviously not hot, but in her mind, she's a 10. Besides, what's wrong with an iPhone 6? It's the perfect size. Unlike her, she looks so big that she is the bus. Moving on, Gavin Newsom signs a bill in California for a reparations bill to give blacks money in a state that never permitted slavery and will soon be paying people who were never slaves. This is like forcing Germans to pay Jews reparations for the Holocaust in another 100 years. My ancestors were enslaved by the Turks during the Ottoman Empire. How much money do I get for that? 3 of my grandparents were in concentration camps under Mr. Mustache. So when do I get my money? Number 19, the Talk To podcast with Haley Welch is now the 3rd most popular podcast in the United States. This woman is single-handedly making promiscuity and degeneracy more popular in America than ever. If you think that this is organic growth, then you're out of your mind. And yes, she's one of them. She's following the same playbook as Lex Fridman, it seems. She's there to dumb down the masses and reduce their ability to critically think. It's a good thing that Trump canceled his appearance on her show now. Up next is an all-female crew making history, working the same shift, and they wrecked their fire engine. But what really would have been cool is if they all worked together to try to put out a fire and rescue people from a building on fire. But their shift went exactly as expected. Maybe there's some nice call center jobs for them now. I really needed a good laugh today, and this was it. Number 21, what would you do if you were presented with this choice to go back in time and fix all your mistakes, or take the red door, which is $10 million in cash? That depends on how far back in time. $10 million is trivial if you go back 15 years and buy Bitcoin, or 20 years and you buy Google like I almost did when it went IPO, but I chickened out. But I would have sold it way too soon. Hopefully in 4 years I'll have $10 million and then there'll be nothing to fix. The pain and suffering I went through made me, me. Moving on, here's a famous person from the past, and she's unrecognizable now. I don't know who this was until someone said this is Shania Twain. That facelift, that tan and blonde wig make her look unrecognizable. At least she didn't get fat like Nelly Furtado. Whoa there, Nelly. Lay off the Joe Louis. As for Shania Twain, I actually prefer the new look over the old one. Number 23, this wild and angry elephant destroys cars and a house in a Chinese town after failing to find a girlfriend to mate with. Maybe the Chinese can paint some water buffaloes to look like an elephant, like they painted those dogs to look like pandas. But this just goes to show that blue ball symptoms don't change between different species. I don't embrace this sort of behavior, but the 14-year-old me until I started lifting weights that was an incel understands it. Up next, this incel who had sex with a cucumber in a driveway is wanted by Washington, D.C. police. It looks like he's in a real pickle, because there was a pickle inside of him. Maybe someone needs to put the wanted poster up in the nearest police station. But I don't really see anything wrong with this. He's not a cucumber file. He's just vegetable attracted, and it was a seedless cucumber until it wasn't. Number 25 and the last one is an oldie but a goodie. Emma Watson hit the wall at full force while riding a broom in the game of Quidditch. People said that this is a fake photo, but it's not. These days, if you see pictures of her, she's not smiling or being expressive with her face, to make herself look younger and probably undo the damage that one image did to her career. Yet she's the face of Prada now. I guess they don't want to sell any products anymore. She looks like Voldemort stole her soul. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm and so new viewers can find it. If you enjoy this series and want me to keep making it, then donate at the PayPal and Subscribe Star links below. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.